are indeed. It's the Car-Boyz. How do? We're back. We've been away. We're back. That's why I had an extra S on boys. It's not more with a Z, I should say. Let's stop the intro music. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. We have been away for far too long. We do apologise. We've been away earning money and doing things like that. Have we not?
Getting a tan.
Yes.
Look at my tan.
Yeah, your tan's great. Better than mine in Cornwall. Mind you, it rained most of the time I was down there. It's a long time no see, folks. I trust you're all good. Car-Boyz are excellent. We apologise for our absence. It was a mixture of holidays and work that kept us from your screens. We're now back with a vengeance. Coming up on the show this week, we'll have all the news that's not fit to print in the news. We'll be delving into your correspondence in the part of the show we like to call the mailbag or letter bollocks. And we've got a great vehicle for you in the classic car selection. Think rural, think agricultural, think mainstay of British farming. That's all I'll say. And it's my pleasure to announce I'm joined by my co-host, one of the big names in broadcasting, well, at least in the Edmonton area. Here's Simon.
I'm famous in Edmonton. I'm going to get a little blue round plaque.
I've seen your picture in the police station.
I'm one of the more famous faces of Edmonton, though. But we did have famous people like Bruce Forsyth.
Oh yes.
And Nigel Havers. Hello.
Is he dead, Nigel Havers? Then.
Yes, and Bruce Forsyth's still alive. Yeah.
That's right.
And I think Bob Hoskins went to school around here as well.
I think he did. That East End part of
North London.
Yeah. Gonna get cut.
Friends and family. We've got a great show for you on the way today. We'll be heading out onto the roads and routes, as well as say, it's what we say here in the UK, routes. The routes. On our Lost Highway section of the show. This is where you send us favourite roads in the world to drive on, and we will review them. Also, we have a great motoring quiz for you this week in homage to a recently departed game show host here in Britain called Tom O'Connor.
Yes.
We've got. Hopefully, it's all going to work, and we're not going to get any YouTube strikes because there's no copyrighted material. I don't think there is. Which is Name That Tune. That's what we're going to be doing.
Good old Tom O'Connor.
And we'll be asking the age-old question of what's worse than being stuck behind a caravan on a country road. You've driven some country roads?
I have. What would be worse?
If it was two caravans, or maybe even a chain of caravans.
Oh, nightmare. You couldn't get past them all.
Very slow. But there you go. Stay tuned for all that and more. And I'm Simon Sidron, and revving up your engine, listen to your howling roar, metal under tension, begging you to touch and go. Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone.
It's just like I was listening to Kenny Loggins there. Simon Suji, who the show's very own Kenny Loggins, and just like Tom Cruise, isn't gay. Definitely not. Run away from those gay thoughts. I'm Richard Green, and I do like to be beside the seaside. I do like to be beside the sea. I do like to stroll along the prom where the brass band play tiddly on pom pom pom. And as you can see from my red tan, alcohol, and been on holiday. And this, of course, is Car-Boyz.
It is Car-Boyz.
Well, we have a new sponsor for the show this week. It is A-Level Water.
Yes.
A-Level Water, where every single bottle gets a AA star. It's brought to you by the Department of Education, and it tastes of educational failure. There we go.
There you go. Every bottle has been assessed by a teacher.
Yeah,
and
nobody loses.
Numbers.
Nobody loses. I always assess my own work, and I always do very well. Strange that. Richard, time now on the show for Richard's rant. It's a rant even. Rant?
Rant?
I know, I went very Kensington Knightsbridge there, didn't I? Rant in my house with my mice. Oh, are you working class? Time now for my rant. You wouldn't think I was from Coventry, would you? You would. It's where I take a sideways view of the world from my own weird, and I would argue warped perspective. Unlike other sections of the podcast, this will not, I repeat, not be an open debate or even a mass debate, thankfully. That's over on YouPorn. This is the totalitarian part of the show where I rule supreme as El Jefe. This week I've been thinking about how we're being lied to by those in power. It raises the question of why they're doing it. Yet again, I've been thinking all week about the whole subject of electric cars. Once again, it comes as we get news today that British MPs are planning to push an electric vehicle infrastructure strategy this autumn, setting out how to get the country ready to phase out petrol and diesel cars. Now, this includes plans for more electric car points on driveways, cheaper electricity from public electric car points. Now, the government plans to ban the wholesale of new petrol and diesel cars from 2030, with hybrids prohibited by 2035. Now, around a third of households have access to off-street parking, but charging an electric car at home is also much cheaper than using one of the 25,000 public charging points across the country. Now, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, who I've interviewed before, we call them SMT, said it expects electric vehicles to account for more than 1 in 6 new cars bought this year. It's all very good, and we applaud it, or we sort of do, calls for greener vehicles, but there are a number of grey pachyderms in the room that nobody is discussing. Firstly, you are unlikely to ever be able to provide electric charging points for every person who owns a car and lives in a tower block, a flat, or a high-rise apartment. That will not logistically happen. Secondly, electric cars are too expensive and far too unreliable. Well, the old ones are, at least, and by old I mean 10 years old, which to me is a new car. Thirdly, as they're finding out in California, there are now rolling brownouts, as they call them, as we call them over here, power cuts, because too many people are charging their Tesla cars at home. Aside from this, there is no way to store much of the green electricity in California, and often it has to give away the electricity at bargain prices to neighboring states. And finally, how green is an electric car? You're increasingly using rare earths to produce the batteries that are mined by children in the third world. The battery is effectively dead after 10 years and not recyclable. And let's not forget that if you do produce more electricity to power the cars, where is that electricity come from? Maybe a Chinese nuclear power station based in the UK. After all, we all know how reliable Chinese science is at keeping dangerous things inside laboratories. Oh, got a flu coming on, I think. All I'm saying is we don't have the money, we don't have the technology, we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the resources, and the biggest one of all, we do not have the will of the people to do this. A painter and decorator in Doncaster does not want to swap his 15-year-old estate car that's probably worth £1,000 for a £35,000 to £40,000 electric. It ain't going to happen. So good luck in changing the way we travel, big brother, but I can't see this ever happening. Now let's rev up the engines for a few more years. Simon?
Something's just occurred to me when you were doing that rant, is you've got all these charging points and a lot of them are on the edge of the pavement.
Yes.
So does that mean that you can't park on the pavement anymore like we normally do? So you'd have to park in the street off the pavement.
Yes, but you can't park on the pavement anyway, can you? Unless you've got that special...
In my area you can.
Yeah, but
in North London you can.
And we're going to talk about Edmonton later on.
I know.
Which I think highlights Edmonton. Can you park on the pavement? You'll get a ticket down here if you do, in this borough.
That's interesting.
Wheels on the pavement, you will get a ticket.
Wow.
And if it's a very narrow road, what they do is they put little white dots so that you can get they say, well, you can park your car. It has been, and I remember this because I'm a geek, since I was in primary school. 1983 they introduced saying you cannot park your wheels on the pavement because you prohibit people that are blind, partially sighted, and also people with wheelchairs and pushchairs.
Rich also giving away his age there.
Yes, I was one at the time. Now, the other thing is, which we found very funny the other day, is there's a guy around the corner that's got a massive house and he's got about 4 cars parked off the street, a massive driveway, and he's got a lot of cars. He's got 6 cars, and one of them is an electric hybrid Land Rover, and he had an extension lead running out of the house, running across the pavement, and running into the Land Rover. That is what is going to happen.
It's just going to be flex everywhere. That's what's going to be.
And also, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say that you said batteries last 10 years. That's a best guess.
That's the best guess.
I've heard stories of it being like 6.
Oh, and if everybody today had a electric car instead of a petrol or a diesel or a hybrid, we would be looking every week the size. I think it's every week the size of Wembley Stadium full of dead electric car batteries. You're not really thought this one through. However dirty the internal combustion engine is, it's cleaner than that. And you're not thinking this through. Why not make that more fuel efficient? Why not give people 200 miles to the gallon out of an engine, and use less oil, and then you conserve oil, and then you can do this. They know they can do it. I mean, admittedly, they assassinate people who come up with these inventions. I'm just saying, go and look on the internet. But it can be done, and it should, and that's what that's the road we should be going down for the future. And then by the time we run out of oil in 200 years' time, which some people say we will never run out of oil, we will or have enough technology to produce electric cars, hopefully flying cars. But right now, we're nowhere there. I don't know.
Do you know what my solution is?
Go on.
Do you know when you were a kid, you had those little cars which you pulled back, and then all of a sudden they started moving forward? That's what you need. You need some way of harnessing that power.
Harnessing the power of children.
Yes.
I think that's illegal, Simon. I think they tried that in the 19th century in the mills up north, and children died at an early age.
Got a canary as a pet, it's fine.
That's right, yes, in the coal mine. Keep that door open. I'm so cold, mister. Do you know? Is it time for the news? It is time for the news. Yes, it's time for the news here on Car-Boyz. Oh dear, we're having issues with the technology again. I know.
We've been off for a few weeks, but the technology's been a bit because we're trying something different. That's why it's at the end of the show.
Are we a bit like, mind you? Let's face it, we're still better than GB News. We're still better than the audio hasn't cut out. I'm all right. I'm not looking too porridgy.
My mic is on. That's good.
Yeah, your mic is on. I'm not looking too porridgy. We haven't sworn yet, and we can because it's the Tinterweb. We can do sort of various things. We can say "f you," but we haven't done that in Vision, so I think we're doing all right. How about some news? Talking of the news.
Yes, you might have to crank up the news volume, but yes.
News.
There you go. So the news music didn't come out, but that's fine. We need to work on that.
Did that news? Do you not hear that news music?
No, I didn't hear the news music.
What have you done?
It's probably me.
Have you done something?
No, it's fine. It's like, it might be, but if we can fill those in later.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. I'll let you edit that.
Yeah. I've got all those. That's all okay. In the news, first off, bend over and get totally rogered by big oil and government news. The price of petrol just soared. And so, have you got a petrol station near you?
Yes.
Last week, I saw petrol and diesel was about the same price.
Yes.
For the first time that I've ever seen that.
I've just got back from Cornwall. It was £1.34. £1.42 at some garages. Ooh. I did found 135 was I did search around a bit.
The petrol price has soared to an 8-year high, but motorists can knock a tenner off the rising cost of filling up their car by scouting on the cheapest garages simply by sticking to the speed limit. Why would you want to do that? Yeah. According to the RAC, last month saw the biggest rise in petrol of unleaded petrol since the start of the year, up by 3 pence on an average of 1.35 a litre, meaning a standard 60-litre tank will cost you more than £80. There you go. I think it's profiteering. More people going to work after pandemic. Supermarkets are currently charging an average of just over 1.32 for a litre of unleaded. That's here in the UK, while motorway service stations can charge as much as £1.49. Another way of reducing fuel bills is to drive more smoothly, like Nigel Havers.
He was smooth.
He was very smooth. Cad. The difference between putting your foot down on the accelerator and adopting a smoother driving approach can reduce fuel consumption by a quarter. The average distance covered by British motorists each year is 7,400 miles, according to data collected by Nimble Fins, who are people to collect data about this sort of stuff. With a car doing 40 miles to the gallon on annual unleaded petrol fuel bill will be around £1,135. But by adopting a more cautious driving style, a motorist can shave off more than £280 off this annual bill. Turning off the air conditioning, again, not sure why you want to do that, and opening the window so you get the rush of hot air, instead will cut fuel consumption by 5%.
No, it won't, because opening another window will cause more drag. So, of course, your car will be far more fuel efficient. What?
Exactly. But does it differ if I open my roof? So if I got open
Yeah,
the sunroof,
yeah, it does. It causes more drag. There's a reason cars
exactly.
don't have holes in them, because if it's
Mm.
smooth, it causes less drag.
But they say that, and also ensuring that your tyres are properly pumped up.
Mm.
There's no necessary heavy baggage in the car, like the missus or whoever it may be.
Children.
Leave the wife and kids at
Yeah,
home, basically.
they can
Sticking to
walk.
speed, sticking to the speed also helps, allegedly. Research by the Motor Review of What Car has found that driving at 80 miles an hour uses up to 25% more fuel, motoring at 70 miles an hour, but it's not as fun. The petrol price, not that I'm endorsing speeding.
No, we wouldn't
The
do that
petrol
on the
price,
show.
no. The petrol price is so high, it's worth remembering that the lion's share of price is taken up by the Treasury. So around 40% on every tankful is tax in
Mm.
this country.
Yes, and I think it's even more for alcohol. Whiskey
Yes.
is something like 4 double drams of shots of whiskey out of a bottle go to the distillery. The rest goes to
Ooh.
tax. That's why we used to have smugglers in this country. Used to smuggle what brandy in from France. I love it. Leave the wife and kids at home. Yeah, crude oil prices fell in March last year to $31 a barrel. They're currently
Mhm.
close to 70. Did you notice your petrol go down to 65p a litre?
No.
So why? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense.
And also, March last year, which was when the pandemic started in this country, less people using fuel, so drop in price, supply and demand.
And also, is this World War II? Don't drive too fast. Don't drive at night. Turn the aircon off. Was it rationing? Piss off. Really? Also, can I say, I'm totally fine with this. I'm
Yes.
going to be, because the most fuel efficient speed, I live in London, the most fuel
Yes.
efficient speed is 56 miles an hour. So can
Yeah.
I do that all the way through London, please? The chance would be a fine thing. My
5.6.
Yeah, my MPG is insane when I drive in London. I think it's down to 12, 15.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes super low because all I'm doing is 5 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour.
I'm moving the 5 meters down the road
That's it.
because of traffic.
So yeah, that's just ridiculous. Look, mate, the petrol is far too expensive. But then maybe this keys in with this big conspiracy about getting us to drive electric cars, which we don't have electricity for. Moving swiftly on. Meanwhile, where's the dodgiest area to own a car news? I'm just going to cue up my music for this one because I think in fact, can you hear any music at all? I'm slightly
No.
concerned.
Okay. What if I then
You do something at your end, as the actress said to the bishop. Now I'll give you some music.
Yes, it's low.
Can you hear that?
Let me get rid of my. How do I get rid of my sharing of music?
Stop trying to share, Simon. We know you don't share.
I know.
Very selfish. I'll do a quick advert for A-Level Water. The water for everybody. Everybody gets a great grade, courtesy of A-Level Water. Go to university. It means nothing anymore and costs you £10,000 a year. A-Level Water.
Give it a go. Give it a go with music.
Hang on. Let's get the music up. Quick. I've got another plug for A-Level Water in a minute. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Anything?
I heard something, and then it went quiet.
Anything? I'm smashing it out now. It's very loud my end.
Really?
Yeah,
and
very
I'm not
loud.
even sharing my sound.
I don't know. You can see the show's live.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to sponsor the show so we can afford better equipment, then please do get in touch on
If A-Level Water actually was a thing. Yes. Meanwhile, where's the dodgiest area to live? Own a car. Sorry, where's the dodgiest area to own a car news? Romford has the highest rate of reported car thefts in the UK for a second year running. News research has found the Essex town has car theft rate of 16.38% per 100,000 insurance inquiries in 2021, an increase about 1% from 2020, according to data from Money Supermarket, and enough to top all other areas in the country. Ilford and Barking were close with a second rate of 15.71, again for a second consecutive year as thieves continue to target these same regions. Meanwhile, Dumfries and Galloway, located in Scotland Western's Western Southern Uplands. Oh yeah, I sort of get it. Has the lowest rate of reported car thefts at under 0.5% per £1,000. But then there's 3 people that live there. Money Supermarket analysed millions of car insurance inquiries made on its site between 20th of July 2020 and 20th of July 2021 to identify the areas with the highest and the lowest instances of theft. It found Scottish locations dominate the 10 safest areas, with Kirkwall, Perth, Paisley, and Gala Shields taking the top position. Mind you, don't be English there, they get smack in the face. Other areas with the lowest theft rate include the Isle of Man and Llandrydod, Wales, which I guess is in Wales. Okay, so these are areas where nobody lives, and unsurprisingly, there is Essex, which is full of A, people, and B, full of people from Essex. It's got high car crime. In terms of the types of vehicles thieves choose to steal, Ford Fiesta is the highest in 2020 with almost 4,040 cases, according to the DVLA, followed by a Land Rover, Range Rover, and then the Volkswagen Golf. But which areas of the UK have the worst cases of car crime, and which cases? And well, I think it's time for another Car-Boyz top 10 top of the pop style countdown. That's right. Time for another Top of the Pop style countdown, my old mate. And in at 5, it's the home of Nigel Havers and Bruce Forsyth. Enfield comes over just 12% theft rate per 1,000 insurance claims. Storming up the chart at 4, just ahead of Enfield, it's the entire area of North London, synonymous for stabbings and wide boys, but now also for car theft. Taking bronze at 3, it's the country's second capital, all right there, Chuck. Former home of British car industry, Rock Band Slide, and Aston Villa. Those Brummies come in at more than 13% per 1,000. Bloody great. Close but no cigar for more Essex boy at number 2 as Ilford and Barking have the silver medal for car crime down south at almost 16%. And as we've already mentioned, staying at the number 1 spot, it's a gold medal for those southern shandy drinking Romford geezers who have had their collars felt by the law on more than one occasion, taking the number 1 spot at almost 17%, 17 per 1,000. Yes, it was Romford. Let's end that music. We've had enough of that.
So basically, you're saying if you look at a map of London, North London, Northeast London, and everything surrounding that, that's the hotspot.
That's where you're going to get your car nicked. And coming to age, research has found that if you're age 30 to 39, you're most likely to get your car stolen, with a theft rate of 8 per 1,000, while people's age 20 to 24 face the least risk at a rate of 4 per 1,000. That's because they drive pieces of crap. This compares to 2020, where 40 to 49-year-olds were the most likely to face higher risk of car theft.
Age bracket.
Speak for yourself. I was going to say I'll be entering that bracket soon. So better news for us older blokes, Simon. And it looks like London and Birmingham area are the worst for car crime. Birmingham because there's lots of car manufacturing, and London because it's full of thieves. Not my opinion, just statistics.
And lots of stiletto thefts from those cars in Essex.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in Asian Mr. Bear, screws some more money out of hard work in Londoners news. Transport for London yesterday launched a public consultation. They did to increase. I got an email from them saying, "Would you like to consult on this?" Maximum fine. So I had a different picture.
Where's my brown mini?
There he is. Hello.
Oh, sorry, that's the correct picture. I'm sorry, Simon. I have to. Is this Sajid Javid I've got here? I think it's Sajid Javid. Yeah, sorry.
Sajid Javid, and there you go.
There you go. Sadiq Khan.
Sadiq Khan. They've done a consultation to increase the maximum fine for the capital's red routes by £30. It looks to be the next sting on drivers in the capital following last week's announcement. The temporary increase to congestion charge of £15 remain in place. However, I think they're going to do a consultation for that as well. How you can find the amounts for red route offences, such as blocking yellow box junctions, which I've got caught for that before, breaking parking rules, performing illegal U-turns or turns, driving in bus lanes, motorists receive a maximum penalty charge or PNC notice of £160, which is up from £130. Red routes which I don't know if they have anywhere else in the country, but red routes
Not
are
yet.
managed by TfL and make up 5% of the London road network. However, they're also some of the busiest in the city, carrying 40% of the traffic. The RAC blasted the move, saying it was nothing more than money grabbing because they're right. And the Mayor for London is waging war on drivers and businesses that rely on their vehicles. TfL confirmed the potential hike on Thursday, claiming that it's part of the efforts to cut road danger and congestion. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So giving people no. All income from PNCs are reinvested to TfL because they're not being put in potholes. I know that for sure. To cover the cost of enforcement and schemes to reduce the road danger. So basically, PNCs are paying for people to
PNCs pay for PNCs.
Yes,
that's all exactly. It does. It pays for itself.
They're designed to keep traffic flowing, which they don't, and prohibit drivers from stopping except in designated areas.
Oh, I must show you this. Firstly, where did you get your yellow box? Where did you get caught? It's the same place as I've been caught.
It was in Bounds Green.
Okay, I got caught in Wandsworth. At a junction, there's a T-junction, 2 high buildings either side.
Ooh.
There's a yellow box at the end. You go down a hill, and you go left, but you can't see whether it's empty
or not
until you're in the box. And I went, oh,
nothing you can do.
There's traffic, and I'm in the box. I can't whack on my anchors because the guy from behind is going to go into the back of me. So I got a fine for doing it. I was like, but there's nothing I can do. Now, the second is I put up a thing about red routes. I found this picture. And this is where I got done in Feltham. On red route. You see where the red car and the white car are at the front?
Yes.
There is a set of lights, and there is a red route, and there's a box in front of that. And I entered, and literally my back wheel was on that box for seconds, and I got done for stopping on a red route. But I was like, but if I were in a smaller car, shorter car, it wouldn't have happened. Firstly, I'm under the impression that the fines raised by red routes, parking badly and entering a bus lane, we've already discussed this. They just pay. They don't raise any revenue for London. The reason London's bankrupt is because dickheads like Asian Mr. Bean, Sadiq Khan, and now the third. This is great. When I was in Cornwall on holiday last week, I passed an old town hall, and there was a sign outside that said "Village Snooker Club, new members welcome. Annual membership. Wait for it. Annual membership, £30."
And I thought,
why am I still living in London? It's like he wants us to leave. I'm like, what's the annual snooker club in London going to be? £35-40 a month, £30 a year. And I went, why am I still here? I'm nearly there, not quite there, but I'm nearly there. And I'm nearly thinking, I have got to put up with this bullshit from this idiot. And thus, I had a conversation with a taxi driver from Lagos the other day. I know, I meet the most unusual people.
Not a stereotype at all.
He said Lagos has had bad traffic for years, and in the 1970s it was so bad they decided to, whatever your number plate was, you could only go into the city if you had, say, an odd number or an even number on Tuesday.
France did that, didn't they?
Yeah, except everybody just went out and bought another car with even numbers, so there was the same amount of cars on the town. So nothing happened. And he said, his experience is bigger the city, the more cars. I've lived in a mega city. I've lived in Bangkok, which is bigger than London, and everybody's in a car. So I don't know what the answer is.
Can't have it both ways.
No. Finally, let's have some happier news. We'll get rid of Sadiq Khan. Lamborghini's iconic Countach, recently voted Britain's most popular poster car of all time, is making a comeback. The Italian marque has confirmed it looks set in a matter of days. In a shocked announcement, the sports car maker revealed on its social media channel that the Countach has been in prototype form and will return in 2021. While the details about the car and its unveiling are incredibly limited for now, the reborn Countach is expected to be debuted at Pebble Beach Consort Elegance in California, which kicks off on Sunday. Still recognized as one of the greatest supercars of all time, the Countach's wedge-shaped design, penned by Marcello Gandini, had scissor doors, and they were a huge departure from Lamborghini's original high-performance model, the Miura. Earlier this year, returning chief executive Stefan Winkelmann, it doesn't sound very Italian, does it? I wonder what his dad did between 1939 and 1945. promised 2 new models to feature the manufacturer's V-Rocket No. 12 engine before it embarked on electrifying its entire lineup. The Countach said to be one of those cars to be among the last to get the Wailing power plant. Now, what it's going to do is going to have the same hybrid engine as the Sian or Shan hypercar. It's the 6.5 litre 12-cylinder motor and super capacitor technology. So this is different from a traditional
Back to the
hybrid.
future.
It is, and we're the reach 88 miles an hour. You can go back to 1955, Marty. Oh, good great Scott. I hurt myself. So it's the battery supplements the power to give a boost and improves efficiency. That being the case, the Countach will have somewhere in the region, wait for it, of almost 800 horsepower, accelerate from 0 to 62 in less than 3 seconds, and have a top speed of 220 miles an hour. And that's my kind of hybrid. I want to know that if this is the original Countach, or the Countach Countaches, there's some Countaches. If that's back in fashion, is pubic hair, because it's the 1970s. Is that what we're going to see?
You drive around with a growler.
Yeah, going to see more pubic hair on the beach this summer, possibly. I'm just saying.
While you're doing that, I was just having a look at the Instagram page of Lamborghini.
Keep going.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks like that could be somebody's kitchen top with a piece of with a tea towel over some cheddar.
It's got no windows, no nothing. No, sorry, that was it. They were unveiling it at the time. Yes. So there you go. So
brilliant.
That sounds good.
Stuff. That is the news. It is time for the classic car selection. Now, shall we see if the band work? I've invited the band back in. In you go, boys. Hang on, what? We're going to edit in after. How dare you? This is a completely live show. It goes. Oh, hang on. Get out of it. We've got to do that and do this. They don't like me this week. I think they've caught on that I'm not paying any royalties for any of that. Well, that's the idea, isn't it? Here we go. How about this? Hearing anything?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. I'm just going to play it and talk over the top because I think this is going to be fine in the edit. What am I saying? Yes, it's time now on the show to take a look at an overlooked car that has the potential to be a classic, a diamond in the rough, if you will. A vehicle that has the potential to be both your daily driver and your whip for Sunday best. Yes, it's time now on Car-Boyz for the classic car selection. There we go. That's my best. And I am available for voiceovers. I'm available for painting your back bedroom if the money's there. And this week we're going to take a look at the original and the best version of the Land Rover, namely the Defender, which I've got no pictures for this. I don't know why I didn't take any pictures. Namely the Defender, formerly known as the Land Rover. It was the Willys Jeep. It was the Willys Jeep to the brand of Jeep. It's the pure essence, the source of all inspiration, and the British car which all 4x4s in the UK and SUVs have been either based or judged against ever since 1948. Now, the reason I decided to write this article is I've just been to rural Cornwall on holiday. And as well as doing a little surfing, I've been seeing the countryside populated by nothing. And I promise you, nothing except Land Rovers. Wow. No Mitsubishis, no Hondas, very few Toyota Hiluxes. From what I've seen, every single person has got a Land Rover Defender in various states of decay. Contrary to what other journalists have been saying about the new Land Rover, I'm afraid the new one does not come close to the original. The Defender's been around for so long that it's something of an icon, and its reputation as the ultimate off-roader is richly deserved. The ladder chassis, the mechanical all-wheel drive system is simple, strong, panel design, means it can cope with the toughest terrain. The Defender series Land Rover has been going since 1984, replacing the Series 3, and it's undergone constant upgrades and improvements over its lifetime, including improvements to the drivetrain and the equipment. Now, unfortunately, despite the continual upgrades, it does feel like an old design today. The dashboard and the center stick are sort of flat. The windscreen and the seats are upright. Driving position is cramped. There's nowhere to rest your arm when you drive. You have to literally stick it out the window like a farmer. It's also fairly expensive. A farmer's tan. It's also very expensive to buy and isn't very fuel efficient, 30 mpg across the board. Nonetheless, it's solid. It's got a certain character and charm. It also is a true workhorse. Something any countryside dweller will attest to, given the sheer number of them ferrying around from farm to farm. Now, it's done a good job of modernising the Land Rover over the years. The dashboard layout's been modernised by the Land Rover Group over various ownerships from Ford to Tata. The newer Defenders were kitted out with enough mod cons to make life bearable: aircon, electric windows, audio connectivity, leather, and even sat nav. Look at that beauty, shining red. Oof, yes, please. Aircon, electric windows, audio connectivity, the whole lot. The space in the back, plenty of gear too, whether that be a dog, a few balls, some bales of hay, or a couple of sheep. But might be Welsh. Up front, it doesn't take long to get uncomfortable. There's nowhere to stick your right arm, as I mentioned. It's enduringly popular, though, because it is of its reputation as a competent and capable workhorse, and a reputation it richly deserves. Also, there's so many of them about, everybody knows how to fix them. They're one of those cars. Now, look, what to look out for? How much should I pay? Well, firstly, remember the 5th of November. No, seriously, look for rust on the bodywork. The chassis is made of aluminium. Sorry, the bodywork is made of aluminium. The chassis is not made of aluminium. It's steel, and it's also on an older model as it's not galvanized and rusts as fast as a drunken can eat a kebab. Get underneath the car with a screwdriver, have a go, make sure there are no holes in the chassis, and that the underseal or gob isn't hiding any nasties. I once saw somebody rebuild the rear of a Land Rover chassis with chicken wire and plastic padding. And before you ask, it wasn't me. Also ask yourself if you're capable of owning a Land Rover Defender. These are cars that need a lot of TLC. They all score low on reliability index. They have had Rover and Ford as parent companies. You can expect them not to be the highest quality. As the Ford acronym goes, fix, often repair daily. And be mindful that all Land Rovers leak oil, every single one. If you like your driveway free of oil, then don't buy a Landy. In terms of spending, the Defender is going up in price. So 10 years ago, you can buy a 1980s Defender for 1,800 quid. You'll get very little for under £5. You'll actually get a basket case. Spend around £8, you'll get a pretty nice model. We found a 2004 Landy, 150 on the clock, full service history, no rust, central locking, just under £9,000, which seems a lot. But you're buying into the Land Rover Defender brand. They're lovely 110 long wheelbase. Safari, that's not a Defender, that's a Series 3, Simon.
Ooh.
Sorry, because you can see the front, and that's a Series 1. 19. One we go. That's a Defender. You can tell the Defender because it's got...
it on the front.
Yeah, that'd help. It's also flat. The whole front's flat. With the Series, the front nose is set back. I'm just a geek. I was a subscriber to Land Rover
Weekly
in the Land Rover
monthly.
Land Rover monthly, I think it was. Yeah, for a while. And you see them. I remember seeing this one out in Bangkok, and it had a little sign on it in Thai. I said, "What does that sign say?" And so I gave it my friend at work. I said, "Listen, I keep seeing this. Does this mean it's for sale?" And it was one of those. It was like a grey 110, the long wheelbase, the Safari version. And she said, "No, it says cleaner wanted." In Thai. So I don't know why. Just an old land. Because what happens is the bodywork, it's aluminium, so it doesn't rust. It corrodes, and it takes decades. You do get some corrosion with aluminium. It doesn't last forever, but it's really, really slow compared to iron. So you do see this. God, it's an amazing condition. You get underneath it with a screwdriver, and the whole thing's full of holes. I had to do the Landy. I know it's a bit of an expensive classic. It's more than we usually go for. But if you are going to buy it, now's the time. Now, I remember coming back from Asia 15 years ago, and I was seeing the original 90. Inch Series 1 Land Rovers. You could pick a minter, an absolute minter, looked like it just come off the factory in 1948, 49 for about £5,000. Those cars are now 15 to 20, if not more. Yeah.
So that's a minter, not a munter. That's munter is something else.
Munter is what we discussed earlier in the story about Romford. Right.
Guess what's coming up next?
It's the turd of the week. Let's see if our sound effects work.
I heard something.
Yeah, well, that was me going. I don't know what we've done. I don't know what we've done this week to the system. I'm very disappointed.
It's fine. We will sort it out.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor us and give us some money so we can afford better facilities to bring you this high quality entertainment. Um, that would be good.
Yeah, I'll
But
just
it's
go
a feature that
a lot. There you go.
it's a feature we haven't done in a while. It's where we
No.
examine the terrible crimes committed to
Yes.
cars across the world. From driving a 1988 Ford Punto on a run-flat tire for the rest of its life, we even putting sawdust into the gearbox. We basically find a car for sale across the world, a
Yes, we do.
terrible car that there's to mount the pile of feces that is going to be the crowned, the glorious king of the hill. It is time for the Car-Boyz for the pop of the week, aka Turd of the Week.
It is indeed.
This week we had an email from Dave in Dalston. I bet you it's trendy. This car came up on a popular auction site. You know the one. The car is being listed as spares only.
Oh dear.
But thinks it's an absolute bargain. Now, we were talking about Land Rovers. This is a 2017 Land Rover Discovery Sport 2-litre TD 4x4 SE Tech with undisclosed mileage on the clock and quite a few dented panels, just a few, and a bent chassis. Destroyed front wheels, there we go. I assume control arm's gone, almost every window, apart from the front, smashed in, probably the airbags have all gone off. This is definitely a complete write-off and will never get back on the road. So, Rich, why should you buy this vehicle?
Well, you see, usually on Turd of the Week or Pick of the Pups, I choose a car that you shouldn't buy. But I'm going to turn it around this week because I'm going to say if you own a Land Rover Sport in white, you've got a lot of land or you've got somewhere to store it, for 350 quid, you should buy this car. I think it's a bargain. Now, why would I say that? If you own a white Land Rover, this, what is it? It's a disco, isn't it? Disco, Land Rover Sport. If you own a white Land Rover Sport, and you've got space to store this old clapped out piece of rubbish, it's a perfect donor car. You can put it in outbuildings. You could stick it under a tarp in a garage. The windscreen looks in good nick. The windscreen is still there. How much is a windscreen going to cost you? As is the bonnet. There's no dents in that. You take a look at the engine bay. There you go. Yep. Engine bay is looking nice and clean. Also, at least the front two are knackered. Actually, that's quite worrying. If you do look at the front wheel, does that look like blood under there?
Oh, that could well be.
Anyway, let's not go down that road.
Crime scene investigation.
Yeah, crime scene investigation on Car-Boyz. It's our new show. We investigate crimes we find on the internet. I reckon the back alloy's all right. So you've at least got one alloy usable. The light clusters are good. And I had a look around the back. The light clusters are good around the back. The seats and the interior are in good condition. Now, the reason I'm saying this is how much is it for one Land Rover part, a genuine Land Rover part? 350 quid. How much is a bonnet going to cost you? £1,000. How about a new front seat? £2,000. What about the instrument cluster? Alloy wheels? £150. A new head gasket, replacement water pump, a new fuel tank. Things like that I mean, even a branded Land Rover set of car mats are going to cost you more than £100.
Yeah.
Shell out £350 for this. If you're in love with your Land Rover Discovery Sport, for that what it is, you're in love with your disco, you want to keep it for a few years, you've got space to store this, go out, buy it, and just forget about it. And every time you need a part, just go, I need a part. Oh, yeah, I've got one of those.
The thing is, I certainly know in London, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, there was big trade in stealing headlights and lights from Land Rovers.
Land Rovers, because they're so expensive to repair.
Yeah. So if you got these, as you said, just it's worth more in some of its parts than the whole vehicle altogether.
I think every single car I've owned, apart from my expensive Honda Accord, which is relatively new, has been put. It used to be I'd go to a breaker's yard. And then there was a place in East London I found that sold Ford parts. It was like a shop full of old Ford parts. I remember getting a wing mirror for my Escort for £15. And now it's eBay. I just use eBay. You need a new thing. It comes with a guarantee. On my wife's car, I bought a spare. She had the spare wheel, but she didn't have the screw that went down to lock it in.
Yeah.
The spare wheel was to rattle around a lot. I looked online. Honda wanted, I think, £32. I got one online for £6. All it is a screw to screw the thing down, to stop wheel rattling around. It's amazing. I got, I did for my Honda Accord. Stupid thing doesn't come with a spare, but the wheel plan is exactly the same as the Honda Jazz. the actual plan on the wheel itself where the nuts are.
Yep.
My guy said, "Oh no, you just get any, as long as that plan's the same." I think £35 for my run flat, and that sits in the wheel well. £35, and it came with a little screw thing to screw it all down. So fantastic! I was a happy bunny. I mean, you can do this, and this does suspiciously look like blood, though, there, doesn't it?
Also, in the previous thing that we were talking about was cars being stolen. Dave is from, where did he say he was
Dalston. Dalston.
Okay, maybe this is like one of those Land Rovers that's been stolen from Essex or something like that.
It is the colour of a certain Colombian marching powder, isn't it?
And also stilettos.
And that is, of course, that's the end of Picking the Pups, the Turd of the Week. If you want to get your Turd of the Week or suggest anything or get any questions to the Car-Boyz or even comment on the show, you can email the Car-Boyz at car-boys with a Z, always with a Z at outlook.com. Facebook, we are car-boys with a Z, always with a Z, at Car-Boyz, 4 Zs. Twittering, car-boys at car_boys with a Z. Instagram, at Car-Boyz with the 3 Zs. Not to 4. There you go, on Instagram. It's Lost Highways, isn't it?
It is.
Do you know what? I'm going to play the music off my phone because, you can't be trusted.
That's how we did it. That's how we used to do it.
We used to play it off the phone before I came up with it. We've completely buggered ourselves this week. I wouldn't mind.
It's only because it's Tom O'Connor's fault. I wouldn't have done the quiz like how we did.
Yeah, I know. I think we were being ambitious. That's always our. We've
got to try.
You have to try these things.
We're 87 shows in. We have to try.
Yeah, it's Lost Highways.
It's some yokels we've got in the band. It is Lost Highways, the feature where listeners email us in and give us their favourite roads and the reasons why they love them.
You got a pretty face. Yep.
It can be 6 fingers. It's a quiet coastal road that leads down to the sea. Alternatively, it could be straight to the blacktop that leads to infinity and invites you to come the pedal to the middle. Whatever your poison is, and whatever your perfect driver and road is, get in touch with Car-Boyz with all the details. Just rewind back further on and you'll see what the details are. First to get in touch is Cheatham, who says, "Dear Car-Boyz, hope you had a good summer break." Rich was on the summer break. You can see his tan. He's got a bit red. One of my favourite drives is in Turkey. The road from Adana to Cappadocia. Yes. The region is relatively new in construction, but it's always been a free route because of the trade from southeastern cities to Ankara and Istanbul. The highway has been finished not too long ago, and was the most challenging part. It is in section passing the mighty Taurus Mountains, which dates back a centuries to the Ottoman Empire. It has 17 tunnels, 27 bridges, and today drill the Taurus Mountains. I just thought that was funny when it said drilling. Like a good drilling. To take people easily to the Mediterranean coastline from the centre of Anatolia. It has a 3-hour drive. That's what I said. It is a 3-hour drive at about 250 kilometers via Ankara, and the climate changing between continent and Mediterranean. She said she didn't get a picture of the road, because usually we have pictures of the road, but when in Adana, she did get a picture of the local Adana kebab. She says, which she knows that we'll both appreciate. I do appreciate that. Look at that kebab.
I'm actually going to have a shawarma tonight. I think I'm going to get Uber Eats. But that to me looks like a protest by Bobby Sands. Apparently Ulster says no. I love this. How do you know how famous Cappadocia? Cappadocia is this amazingly famous region because for some reason, thousands of years ago, the people in Cappadocia decided to go and live underground. And you have all these amazing caves. But wow. She doesn't send us a picture of these amazing caves in the Cappadocia region. She sends us this.
Cheatham, I think you're great for doing that.
I do, yeah. I'm actually quite hungry now for a kebab. I first saw that, I went, come on, this looks like a turd, doesn't it? Is this our turd of the week? Bobby Sands protest.
Yes.
Ulster says no. Yes, and that's the other thing about this. Isn't interesting. See if you've got Turkish blood. Feel the back of your head. Have you got a lump in the middle of the back of your head? There should be have you got a little lump there, right in the middle, right where your spine goes into your skull?
Oh yeah.
Have you got a little lump? If you've got a little lump, apparently that is known as an Anatolian lump.
Ooh.
And if you have, I've got one. You apparently got Turkish roots.
Ooh.
Which is strange because I've done 23andMe and there's Turkish roots, Turkish kebab.
I do like a kebab. It's great.
I'm doing a shawarma tonight. The wife doesn't know anything about it. We'll just keep it between you and me. Finally, on the highways, Clegg. I wonder if it's Nick. I emailed him the other week. He didn't respond.
Did you?
Yeah. I was doing some work and we needed to get in touch with him, but he didn't want to respond to us. That's because he's so sorry. Clegg emailed in from Leeds and says, "Dear Car-Boyz, I was in Canada or Canada a couple of years ago and I took a trip on the Coastal Circle route. Now you can walk to seascapes, beaches, driftwood all the way along the route, which will take you up to Vancouver's island's eastern shore. Very pretty. I don't know what we're looking at. Yes, that is very pretty. And famous Sunshine Coast. The journey is unique for highways featuring. It includes at least 4 ferry rides. If you opt to explore smaller islands on the way, you can take anywhere from a few days a week to stop off along the way. The route is roughly 350 miles, mostly along Highway 101. Visit British Columbia's artists and artisans in the studios where they live, work and showcasing their art. Galleries, funky little artisty towns, stunning gardens, intriguing First Nation sites, wineries, as we call them in Europe, where we have glass, vineyards, organic farms, and 2 major cities. I don't know what cities they are highlights of these. He said there are companies that offer a fly drive option for you so you could go for that. So that is, I've got a friend who is from Canada and he lives in Vancouver. And he can canoe from his house into the city. And he's done it. Yeah, and he locks off his canoe and then goes and does his shopping and comes back, gets on his canoe.
I think
he's got a big feather that does this. He has to send smoke signals. So anything you want wife, from why I'm in town. She sends some smoke signals back. Yes, please. More buffalo meat.
I like this picture of that Clegg has sent in because I think this is like the Canada Land Abbey Road.
So when was this taken? 1976. Oh, it is Abbey Road. Yeah. Is it quite? Oh no, it's not that old. Abbey Road in Vancouver. It's great to me. Make a song about Vancouver, we will. That's it from Lost Highways. And yes, hang on. Got to get it ready. It's like the old days, getting the audio set up on the flaming phone and trying to do it surreptitiously and failing. Here we go. And it is indeed letterbollocks. Time now. And there's a symbol crash for your jokes. Time now on the show to delve into the bulging sack that's known locally as the mailbag, the letterbollocks. This week it's overflowing. Over to you, Simon.
Diana says hello from. Have you been visiting Diana in Cornwall?
Yes. No. I noticed this. This is why I picked this one up because I will tell you a story after you read Diana's letter about me driving in Cornwall.
Oh, maybe she spoke to you. Diana says hello from Cornwall. She says hello, Car-Boyz. Can you help me? Maybe we can. I have an old 1994 Subaru. Love the car, but I fear it is on its last legs. Just around the wheel arches, says, and her mechanic says it needs a lot of welding underneath. It's been a great car, reliable and fun. What she said it for? It has 4x4, as most Subarus do.
Nice.
And small. I'm trying to think what Subaru is. Perfect for the bad weather.
The Justy's the super tiny one.
The
locked off back. It's a 4x4, but it's tiny.
She says it's perfect for the bad weather and motoring up and down the tiny Cornish roads with the Cornish hedges on either side. I do love those roads. She really wants 4x4, but the newer Subaru Justy doesn't have it. Oh, okay. What should she go for? She has $3,000 plus whatever she can get for a whole Subaru.
Well, first off, she's going to get $1,000 for that car. She said it's rusty around the wheel arches, but there's hardly any of them left because they made it. She's had one of the last ones in '94. They're actually worth a few bobbers classics. Suzuki do a small number of 4x4s, including the Ignis. Kia do small. Hyundai do a small one. I personally would go for this. Fiat Panda 4x4 Cross. This car 2010, 56 on the clock, full service history, no marks or scratches, 5-speed. She'll get marks and scratches living in Cornwall, believe me. 1.3 multi-jet petrol engine, which is famed. It's got sat nav, no marks, no scratches. Heck of a small, powerful car. That's just under £4,000. Perfect for bad weather, and of course designed for police in the Italian Alps.
Yeah, and I like it's got the side cladding thing so that if it does get scratched,
Yeah.
I think that's all plastic.
Yes, and it's raised slightly. The cross is slightly higher. Because the thing
Yes.
is with Cornwall, it is hot in the summer, but you do get a lot of wet in the winter. Now, the reason I picked out her letter,
Or the week that you went.
well, yes, I didn't do too bad. I had 3 days of sun and 7 days of shitty weather, but I was surfing a lot, so I was just in the wetsuit. I don't care. My mother came down to stay near us in the other side of the valley. Don't want her too near. She was on the other side of the valley.
Sending smoke signals.
Exactly. Sending smoke. Hi, son, come over here. White man, speak with folk tongue. So she phoned me up. She said, "Oh, I've forgotten my." She'd come over for the day. I forgot my makeup bag. Can you pop it over? She said, "Don't worry." She said, "Actually, forget it. Do it in the morning." I said, "No, you're like 2 minutes away, the other side of the valley." So I put the sat nav in. I'd never been to the farmhouse she was staying in, and off I go. And it says, turn right down Church Road. Off I get down Church Road. Church Road gets narrower and narrower, narrower and narrower and narrower. I have a Honda Accord. It's the last model, 2013. Now, Cornish hedges are earth, stone, and then they build hedges on top. So because of the wind, because if you just built hedges in Cornwall, the wind would blow the hedge away. So the first 3 or 4 foot is stone and earth, and they last 150 years. These things, they're amazing. I can feel the windscreen mirrors catching leaves either side. If somebody comes, I'm buggered. Then the road starts to do this, and then do this, and then do this. And there's suddenly a guy appears, like just walking, and he's like, oh shit, he has to walk back and sort of walk up the side and hang on as I go past. I'm like, sorry. And the last bit went up, like this, 45-degree angle, and turned. And I came back out on the main road. So I eventually got there. I went a different route back. I just stayed on the main
There was a main road there. You take the main.
Yeah. That would be perfect for doing such journeys.
Yes.
Just don't follow the sat nav. I was following the sat nav, going, "Why have I come down here?" A sort of a 10-minute journey on the sat nav eventually took me about. It was 3/4 of an hour to get there and back. Ridiculous.
Oh dear. But there you go.
There we go. So
from Cornwall.
I would definitely do that, and she will get some money for that old Subaru. So stick it on like a classic. Car and Classic is probably the one, or is Classic and Car or Car and Classic to stick it on. You'll get some money for that. Michael in Corfu says, all right, Car-Boyz, retired. He lives in Greece, the beautiful island of Corfu, lucky devil. He wants to buy a classic car. He likes the idea of an old Merc, maybe a 1990s W124 4-door. He owns a Greek VW Golf. 1.4, so it's a local car. It's not like they made Golfs there or anything. But he says that'll be my daily driver. But I'd like something for the Sunday afternoon drive. What do you think? A good choice. I've driven one of these. Built before Chrysler ruined the company's reputation with rust and badly built cars. We found this model. This is a 99. It was in the UK though, not in Greece. 190D, 89 on the clock, very good condition, just over 4,000.
Oh, okay.
This was in the UK. I think if you got one in Greece, it'd be in better condition because there'd be no rust on it.
Yes.
Keep an eye on Local Ads, classic car website. I'd join maybe the Greek Mercedes Club. You're going to see one on there. If you don't speak any Greek, take somebody with you to help negotiate. And they're solid. The reason I like these, did you ever drive that car when we did that program?
No.
Every single switch went clunk, clunk, clunk,
quality
clunk.
feel.
It had done 194,000. The Autobot changer, clunk. This was clunk. That was it a diesel? I think it was a diesel. Everything on that car,
air-cooled.
And it was air cooled, yes, because the guy that had lent it us had not put any water in it. So I was wondering why, when I drove faster, the heat started going down, and when I slowed up, the heat started going up. When I got to my destination, took off the radiator cap, and it was bone dry. Yes, fantastic. But yeah,
in the days when cars had a temperature gauge.
Yes, indeed. That is a nice car. So why not go for it? Over to you.
There you go, Michael, in Corfu. Mikey the Pikey in Florida That's what he says. Mikey the
Yes.
Parky. He says he'll retarmac your driveway for £50. Nice. No, he says, hello, Internet Car Show.
He won't. He'll turn up with a load of black paint in the can and go. Tss. There must be
Uh,
driveway's done.
He owns a 1984 Lincoln Continental Diesel, a rare bird. I don't never know there was a diesel version. Old car, but in good condition. There you go. It's around 100,000 miles on the clock, and mostly rust-free. He bought it when he moved to Tampa 10 years ago. That's Tampa, not Tampax, because that's something else.
Yeah.
It was actually sitting on blocks in the garage. He says it's pretty bulletproof, except the early Lincoln Continental, because the president in the back weren't bulletproof then. He says he doesn't want to sell it. Probably offended all our American viewers. He doesn't want to sell it. But what's it worth? He says, what's it worth?
What's it worth? Right. We had a look at this. They don't make American cars like this anymore. Big old 1980s land yacht, albeit a land yacht. This is weird. I had to do some research on this. With a difference. This has got BMW Turbo 6 diesel.
Okay.
Not like it's the only one. They made 1,500 of these. Ford couldn't be bothered to make their own diesel, so they bought one from BMW, and they sort of they jammed it in with a spanner.
Nice.
So you've got a lot more reliability in regards to the engine. It's very slow, but you'll know that already because you've owned it for 10 years. We looked on the internet. We couldn't even find them. I mean, the only problem is it's as rare as snot up my nose. So rare doesn't always mean valuable. That being said, perfect example, A1 condition, $4,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
But
So,
I would
yeah,
keep
you
it and
can
just
cash
drive it into the ground. And it's Florida, so I assume from his email, I think he sort of he had some work done to it because it had sat for a few years. But it ain't going to rust.
Yeah.
And it's diesel. I mean, it's a really strange car that it's like funky American. You'd have thought this would have it's got a 6.8 liter, V8. And it does 10 mpg, but this probably does 45 mpg on that old diesel engine.
I think we can call it lazy driving in that car.
Oh yeah, you ain't going anywhere fast. I like it. Screw it. It's American. You're in America. Stay American. Finally, we have, and talking of stay the country of origin, we have Mia in Croatia. She says Stravov Car-Boyz.
I assume that's hello.
It says hello and not fuck off in Croat, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
Stravov Mia. She's been offered a classic Yugo Stava, which I think was the original Yugo. So the Zastava, 1989, 900 cc. 900. It is. It's the year I was born. 900 cc. 40 kilometers.
For a moment, I was thinking, what?
32. 40,000 kilometers on the clock. Original paint. Okay. Her friend is selling it. It used to belong to her grandparents. She knows it's been looked after. She's been in it, so she knows the car. Is it a bargain at 2,500 euros? There's the car.
Yeah.
She says it's a Minter. These are dogs. It's a dog of a car. Let's be honest, it's not the nicest car in the world. But I will say this. If you were going to commute, I don't know, from your main town to Trieste to somewhere to Rome every day, I'd say no. But if you're just going to poodle around country lanes on the Dalmatian coast, why not? To be honest, Yugos, Ladas, Polonaise, most have rusted away. They're all creeping up in price because of a rarity and a romantic view of Soviet-era cars.
Yeah.
Plus, you're in Croatia, and people know how to work on these cars in Croatia. So there's nothing really that can go wrong with this. It'll either go or it won't go. I don't think it came with a cigarette lighter. Look at that hole on the bonnet. Fantastic. I can't imagine that's for a turbo.
Is that a real event?
I think they did come with an air vent. I'm not sure why, but 2,500 euros, I'd go for it and enjoy it.
Not?
And if you go, actually, this is awful for commuting, which it will be because it'll smell and make a lot of noise. But if you're using it 3 or 4 times a week just to go into town, go and see some friends, maybe you work from home, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a silly little car. I've had tin little cars. My Citroen AX was like that. It's just tin.
Little cars are fun.
And it's just fun. You can hoon around in it. It gets you from A to B. Go for it. Why not?
Fantastic.
There we go.
There you go, Mia.
Time for our big quiz.
It is time for the big quiz.
Shall I play? I know. Now I've got to cue up the music. This is It's amateur hour. What are we doing here? We need to. I don't know what. I hope it's going to work your end. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, now you've done that. Now you've shared.
No.
Now we don't want this.
There you go. Technical gremlins. There you go. Hopefully it's going to work.
It will work.
It'll be fine.
Okay, that'll be fine.
So a few weeks ago we lost a game show legend that was Tom O'Connor. So this week we're paying homage to him by naming this week's quiz after him.
Tom O'Connor?
Yeah, the Tom O'Connor quiz. No, name that tune. Slightly, obviously, because of YouTube not allowing us to play copyright music, we're going to do something slightly different. So all our contestant has to do is listen to the sound clip if it works.
Hey, here I am. It's lovely to see you, Simon. Do you remember when I was on the Comedians back in the 1980s? It was fantastic.
So all you have to do is listen to the sound clip and give me the correct answer to the question.
Okay.
This week's contestant, lucky contestant, is a freshly tanned, is a bit red, Richard from South West London.
Thank you.
Now, Rich, do you feel confident that you can name these audio clips?
I definitely feel very confident. I'm hoping to. What is the prize?
This week, the prize you are
of Tom O'Connor.
We should have got him to sign this. Your prize this week is a Fiat Panda. Look at the body roll on that.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So you're
I used to
win
co-own one of those. It was an absolute dog. I
It looks like a dog lifting up its tail.
It does actually. Look, they're doing a cock against the lamppost. Yeah, the one we had, and I've never had this in any other car. It was only 7 years old. It had a leak. The fuel tank rusted through. The fuel tank on a 7-year-old car. Piece of crap.
Yes, Italian piece of crap. So hopefully let's see if the audio works. There you go. That's the audio. So we share that.
No, you're sharing the screen again. You need to.
If you share the screen.
No, but you don't want to share the screen. You just want to share the audio. So in share screen at the bottom.
We'll give it a go anyway.
Just computer audio. Have you clicked on the video as well? Because you don't want to click on the video. You just want to click on computer audio.
I just clicked on let's do this. It's share sound. That's what I want to do. Share sound. That's all I want to do. There you go, kids. Hopefully it's going to work. Right, share. If this works, I'm just going to play it.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. It says you're sharing computer.
You're sharing computer sound. There you go.
Fantastic. Let's see if this works. Question number one. This is a classic engine sound. All you have to do is tell me if it's four cylinders, 6 cylinders, or 8 cylinders. Let's have a look.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes, I've got the children. You can see the children just.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, or 8 cylinders?
I think it sounds too many for 4, but not enough for 8. I'm going to go for 6.
Oh, no, it was 8 cylinders.
Was it?
It was a V8 engine, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm disappointed. Sorry about that.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, now I can hear it. What car was it?
It was a Chevy. I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. So, not off to a good start. Question number 2. This is a sound from a form of motorsport. Is the sound from a world rallying car, a touring car, or a Formula 1 car? Let's have a look. Let's see if this works. Was that a world rallying car, a touring car, or a Formula 1 car?
It's Formula 1. It's Formula 1.
It was Formula 1. Yes, it was. It was a Ferrari V12. How did it go, Rich?
Definitely. And the reason I know that is because I was in gestation at Silverstone when Graham Hill won the British.
Graham Hill? You really are older than you.
Yeah, I know.
Damon Hill.
I know. No, Graham Hill. I was inside my mother when Graham Hill won the British Grand Prix because apparently I was doing flips like this.
Oh, okay.
Every time that went past.
Wow. That is showing your age.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
correct. Yeah, that was a Ferrari V12. Question number 3. This is the most annoying sound in the world. It is, of course, a car alarm going off. All you have to do is tell us: is it from a Ford Mustang or a Bentley Continental? And this is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Is that Ford Mustang
I
or
think
Bentley
I
Continental?
think that sounds British. Oh, 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 oh. I'm going to go for the Bentley.
No, it was cheap and horrible. It was a Ford Mustang.
Really?
It's a Ford. Yeah.
I wonder what the Bentley does. The Bentley play? Does the Bentley play Wagner or something like that?
It plays Rule Britannia. There you go.
Bentley should play flipping Deutschland über alles these days. Another, another time for another subject on that. Sorry, continue.
There you go. So one out of 3 so far. Question number 4. We've got onto emergency services now here in the UK.
Yes.
This is a siren. Is it a police car, an ambulance, or a fire engine? Let's have a look.
Okay. I think that's the filth.
No, it was an ambulance. I'm
Was
sorry.
it really?
It was a London ambulance.
Oh no, I'm not doing very well.
It's new. We're trying something different.
Okay.
We might as well try for a change to not do so well on these quizzes. Question number 5. The next clip is.
I am really that old. Don't police cars go?
And lots of people running.
Really. Do this sound, don't they? Well, they fall down and hit each other on the head.
The Keystone Cops.
Well, a man of piano plays at the front.
That's
the last film I went to see.
For copyright reasons, we speed this up, so hopefully it sounds okay. What is this track? Is it Barracuda by Heart, or is it Little Red Corvette by Prince?
I know this. It's
Yes?
what's it? It's Heart, Barracuda.
It is Heart, yes. It is. There you go. We had to speed it up for copyright reasons.
I think I can play this. Badly? Badly? What does it go?
It goes like this.
That's it.
But obviously a lot slower.
Barracuda. That was on a child's acoustic guitar. I think I did quite well for that.
There you go. It was Anne and Nancy Wilson, Heart and Barracuda. Question number 6. Now to the big screen icon.
Yes.
What is this sound? This is a tricky one. What is this sound? Is it the sound of the Batmobile starting up, or is it the sound of one of the minis from the Italian Job? Oh, that was the wrong one. Okay. It's this one.
That sounds like a plane.
It's hopefully this one.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy. Now, I'm assuming we're talking about the original Camp Batman.
Yes. Atomic batteries to power turbines to speed.
Yeah, it's the turbine engine. Yeah, it's the original Batman. Oh, who was the original Batman? What was his name?
West.
Adam West.
And
Okay. Holy kippers, bad boy. Yeah, that was it.
Bad boy.
Bad boy. Yes. And the trees used to sort of fold down and outshot the Batmobile.
Yes.
And they used to walk.
That was a cross between Batman and Thunderbirds. Oh no! What did you? Yeah.
Yes.
I figured. Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing better. Okay,
Yeah.
we're finding back. Batmobile, of course.
There you go. Well done. Question number 7. This is one of the most famous engines in the world. What is it? You did hear it earlier on. What is it?
Isn't that a Merlin engine?
It was a
Merlin?
It was the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Yeah, it was a trick question. It wasn't a car. But I thought it made it sound like cars going past. Yeah, there you go.
I was when I was called up by Fighter Command in 1942. I used to fly one.
When you were in the mother's womb, it was like
yes, I used to fly one. I used to have a big wax moustache. Hello, chaps. Jocks away.
It was the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. There you go. Well done. No, we're getting there. We're well on the way to getting that.
The victory, like we were in 45. Sorry.
The doggy Fiat Panda.
The disgusting Italian car.
Question number 8. This is sounds of something called Mission Control, which is the 50th anniversary of the Mini Cooper. All I want to know is, what was this special edition Mini named after? It was. I'll give you a clue. It was a borough in London. Was it Camden?
Mayfair. Mayfair.
Or was it Bromley? No, Camden or Bromley.
What?
And this is what Mission Control sounded like when you put the key in the car and started it up.
Man your stations.
The warp drive is ready to go, sir.
Very good. Let's take this baby into another glorious day.
That genuinely, when you put the key in the Mini, that's what it does when it talks to you.
After 10 days, you're going to want to smash their faces in. I used to have the Grateful Dead. I had a best hits of Grateful Dead on cassette years ago, and I used to put it into my stereo, and I had a timer set, and I used to do this morning breakfast show on a Midlands radio station, and it would pop off at 5:15. I had to be in the station by 6, and I set it on the song I liked. It worked. I did it twice, and I never listened to the cassette again. Never listened. I can't listen to Grateful Dead now without thinking, shut up. Why did he call her sir? It's a woman.
I don't know.
Sir?
Man your stations.
The warp drive is ready to go, sir.
Sir?
Let's take this baby
it's a bit
into
21st
another
century.
glorious day.
Her, him, Zzer. But that's a woman, so it should be ma'am.
But was it named after the Camden or Bromley? Was it the Mini Cooper S Camden or the Mini Cooper S Bromley?
The Mini Cooper S Bromley? That would be ridiculous. I know there was the Mayfair. So let's stay central London and be trendy and say Camden.
It was the Camden. Well done.
God,
yes. They would never name anything after Bromley. Surely not. Well done. Well on
the
way.
Mini Cooper Romford. Mind you, the Escort should have really named the Vocabulary the Romford, shouldn't they? Because they sold a lot there.
Yes. Question number 9. This is the lights on audible warning, which we all hate on cars. We want to know, which manufacturer is it from? Is it from Toyota or is it from Honda?
Okay. No, I hate to say it, Matt Simon. This is a Honda.
It is a Honda.
Yeah, because I am terrible at leaving my light. I'm one of those annoying elderly people, because I fought in World War II, who drive. I always put my lights on, and that sound is all the time in my life. I do apologise. I know that's definitely a Honda. I don't find that annoying. I go, thank you. Yes, thank you, because I have flattened too many car batteries. I don't know why. It bugs. The worst thing is, it bugs the heck out of me when I see people with their lights on. Well, you got your lights on. It's not dark. But the last few years in London, I just drive my lights on. I go, I don't care. There you go. Yeah, it's me.
There you go. And you've won the picture of the panda. Question number 10, lastly.
This is have to drive it to stop the fuel leaking out of the hole in the fuel tank at the back.
Well, maybe that's why the car's leaning over. The car's leaning over because there's fuel in the fuel tank.
Fuel's gone to one side. It was a car owned by my mother and myself, my brother. And my brother used to knock 7 shades of shite out of it. And my dad blamed my brother for driving too fast because the fuel consumption was doing rather badly. And then we're in the garage one day going, can you smell petrol? And we looked under and there was a pool of petrol. What an awful car. 7-year-old. You imagine buying a 7. My car sat on the driveway now is 9 years old. 9-year-old Honda, and that's why I consider the new 8 years old. I consider that the new car. So it's a year older than the Fiat Panda when we sold the Fiat Panda, and it has no rust on it. It's got the Fiat Panda had only done 48,000 when we sold it. What a pile of crap! Fiat, if you want to sponsor us, we will tell you people how great your cars are, but until you do, they're rubbish.
So this is the last one. This part is now powered on a car, but what is it the sound of? Is it the sound of a car window going down or a car aerial going up?
Okay.
Like this. Is that car window going down or an aerial going up?
Tom, can I hear it once again? You certainly can.
Up. Window go down.
Up. Oh.
Aerial going up.
Oh, is it aerial? I thought you said window.
Yeah. No, it's an aerial. Is it an aerial or is it a window?
Well, he's accelerating, so I'm going to say going up. Or is it going down?
No, it was a car window going down, but you won the prize anyway. There you go. For all the technical gremlins, we did something different. Hey.
I'm going to play some music to play us out because I'm just confused as to why this has not been working tonight. There you go. That's the music for the show. I've walked off with that fantastic prize. Simon's walked off with the knowledge that he technically has ruined us this evening.
How ironic.
How ironic. It's usually me. When are we going to be back? Soon?
Soon.
Yeah,
What's a date on these things?
We're going to hopefully be doing a special next week.
Yes.
Going to the... tell them all about it.
It's the British Motor Show, which is on next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Farnborough. So also, if you see us...
Sweet, yeah. So if you see the Car-Boyz wandering around, we'll be there with our expensive camera equipment on the end of a GoPro, basically this. So if you see us, say hello. In the meantime, have yourself a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like and do other things so we can get more viewers. That is Car-Boyz. Thank you and goodbye. And that was Tom O'Connor. Goodbye.